So let's take a little trip back, if we could. Let's talk about the power of story, the power of words, and knowing. It's about knowing who you're writing to, right? You got to start there. So let's talk about a guy named Todd. Let's all be Todd. Let's pretend it's like 1995, before everybody's wired and information's coming you every 10 seconds, right? And Todd's a bit of a hump, huh? You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys. He's not a loser, but he's a hump, you know? Takes too much shit at work, never feels appreciated. His last girlfriend left him for a boxer. His mother expected more. So one day, Todd's driving home late from work, because he stayed because the boss asked him and he didn't have the balls to say no. And he's driving his 91 Prelude. He's a little upside down in, but side of that crack in the moonroof, it's a kick-ass car. So Todd pulls into the parking lot of his apartment complex, and he notices that dickhead from 4-H parked his big old truck in his spot again. Really should say something to that guy, but it's all tatted up, and he's got those weird stickers in his window, so it's probably not worth it. So Todd pulls into a spot marked guest. He meanders over to his mail slot. Pulls out his mail. Looking through there, some junk. There's my bill from the bank for the Prelude. There's my new edition of Men's Health magazine that I really need to start reading. And then there's this one piece of mail that it's kind of weird. It doesn't look like a bill, but it doesn't look totally personal. There's something in it. It's got something lumpy in it. What is that? I gotta look at that. So Todd, you go up into your apartment, you change out of your work clothes, you pour yourself a Diet Sprite, take a seat on the couch to see what that letter is all about. And you open it up and it says, Dear Todd, as you can see, I've attached a shiny new nickel to the top of this letter. Why have I done this? Actually, there are two reasons. One, I have something very important to tell you, and I wanted to be absolutely sure that I have your attention. And two, since this nickel is going to help me tell you probably the most amazing true story I've ever heard, it seemed an especially appropriate eye-catcher. Here's what this is all about. Just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, there's a beat-up warehouse where certain unusual types of people like to gather. If you're a stranger out here, you're not just unwelcome, you're meat. And it's very easy to tell if you're not one of the in-group. These guys shave their heads and tattoo swastikas on their scalp. They're permanently pumped with steroid and amphetamine rage. They wear jackboots, carry chains, knives, and baseball bats, and they never, ever fight fair. All fights are 3, 4, or a dozen to 1. Skinhead neo-Nazis, probably the most vicious and dangerous punks roaming America. Compared with skinheads, an inner-city Compton gang of Crips or Bloods look almost like Boy Scouts. Skinheads never need a reason for violence. Just being alone and close enough to jump will make you an instant victim. Todd. These sick jerks actually enjoy hurting and humiliating people. Anyway, on this particular night, an ordinary-looking man named Chris Clugston made the mistake of driving out to this isolated warehouse. He thought he was going to see a band play music, maybe find a nice girl to dance with, have some fun on a hot summer night. He didn't have much money on him. After paying the cover to get inside and ordering a beer, all he had left was one little nickel in his pocket. Remember that, a single nickel. Not even enough to leave as a tip at the makeshift bar. Chris didn't know what to make of all the skinheads giving him the evil eye. He thought they just had really bad haircuts and silly-tasting clothes. He felt no fear. In fact, as he passed a table of them, he reached out and good-naturedly rubbed one of them on the scalp. Nice haircut, fella, he said. 3 skinheads stood up and quickly cornered him. The band played on. Now, you have to get the scene right to understand the importance of what happened next. The smallest of the 3 skinheads coming at Chris was his same size. The others were taller, more muscular, heavier. They were reaching for objects in their pockets. It was too dark to see clearly. Smiling with relish for the stomping they expected to hand out. No one in the warehouse had the slightest urge to help or stop the fight. There was nowhere for Chris to escape. In less than a second, he suddenly realized he was about to be jumped by 3 experienced street fighters, and if he didn't do something right now, his life wasn't worth much more than that nickel in his pocket. What would you have done? Todd was no match for the great John Carlton. Are you sold if you're Todd right there? Do you not need this product in your life? Can you finally handle that dickhead in 4-H? That's knowing your avatar, and that's using story to make your point and to get attention and to win confidence.